Hello everybody, welcome back to UltraChen. Welcome back to First Attack here on UltraChenTV. We're going over normal moves. We've gone through the Footsie's neutral category of normal buttons that you're looking for, and we've also gone through the close range games. Now let's cover all the little extra areas here. So I'm going to start by talking about anti-airs here. Anti-airs are pretty obvious. It's exactly what they sound like. They're used in footsies, basically. When footsies, like I said, jumping is very good. One of the things I really wanted to mention in the frame thing that I didn't get a chance, one of the reasons why jumps are so good is because even when you block a jump, in this situation here, you know how I always said like moves that are +2 on block give you your turn? Well, if you block a jump attack, the person who lands is seriously like +7 or +8. They just have like, I mean, in fighting games terms, even 7/60ths of a second is like years. You get so much time. So that's why whenever you block a jump attack, life just becomes so uncomfortable because you're stuck in this block stun, and the deeper that they do the jump attack, the worse situation you're in. Because like this move can be beat by counter pokes a lot if they come out in time. But if I land a jump fierce, then I can just go straight into that, and it's very hard to deal with that. So jumping is a very powerful tool. That's why it's so restrictive. That's why it's so hard to jump in this game. That's why everyone's got uppercuts that can beat it. But a lot of characters don't have uppercuts. In fact, 12 out of the 16 characters in this game don't have meterless uppercuts. It's only Ryu, Ken, Cammy, and Nikali. They're the only ones that have true invincible uppercuts that can be used for anti-air in this game. So really, you're actually reliant on having a lot of normal moves in your to beat jumps. So for example, this move, I mentioned range, right? Having good vertical range. This move has pretty decent vertical range here. So let's do this as an anti-air. So let's get Cammy to jump here. Boom, right? So that's a pretty decent anti-air. I'm going to try to fierce, but, you know, boom, there you go. So pretty decent anti-air, right? Cammy's back medium punch, another great anti-air. Whoops. Boom, because it hits so high up. So these are great ways to catch people when they're jumping at you. And the first thing, if you can react with, is a good anti-air, then you can prevent putting yourself in that really terrible situation where you block the jump attack and now the opponent is in and gets all this frame advantage. You have to have great priority on this move. Some moves can hit high but have basically no priority, and so they're basically terrible. And you really have to understand angles. You really have to understand angles in this game, because different buttons can be different anti-airs in different ranges. So for example, Cammy's standing roundhouse can be really good anti-air for people jumping over here, right? So as a normal move, it can be a decent anti-air, but at this range, it's not very good, because even though that hit, a lot of the times when you do it, what's going to happen is the enemy is going to be able to cross you up. What's Nikali's cross up? It's jumping medium kick, right? Yeah, okay. So basically, if I jump and hit roundhouse, I'm going to get beaten. But if he jumps from that range, then my back medium punch works great. So really anti-air, so even though I find this is a great anti-air, if Nikali jumps from over here, I can't do anything, right? So nothing, I'm not going to hit. So you really do have to understand the angles, and for some characters that's key. In this game, Chun-Li comes to mind, surprise. Standing light kick is a great anti-air from one range. Standing fierce is a great anti-air from another range. Back roundhouse is a great anti-air from like on top. So if you really understand Chun-Li, all of Chun-Li's angles with her anti-airs in footsies, you really don't have to worry too much about which angle they jump at. So whatever angle range they jump at you, you know your anti-air. For characters like Guile and Dalsum in Street Fighter 4, this was super important. It's probably very important for Dalsum in this game as well to know whether to use back fierce, crouching strong, slide under them, stand jab. He's another character with a bunch of anti-airs that you have to know all the angles about. How do you beat anti-airs? Well, it's easy. Just have really good high priority jump attack. Ken's jump fierce. Oh my god, Ken's jump fierce hits so far below him. In fact, I really just got to show you this move. So Ken's Jump Fierce is an example with a really, really good priority on the box. Because he just hits so far below him. I mean, I'm practically like just coming down from my jump and I can hit you. And it's just such a nice jump attack. I mean, really, it is. It's going to be really hard to show in this kind of situation because I know Ken is going to jump. So it's really easy for me to anti-air it. But I mean, there's situations where you try to anti-air it and then Ken will just blast through your attack because it has such good priority. Zangief Jump Forward. Another great move. It doesn't have great priority, but it hits really low, right? So having moves that hit really low are really good. Empty jumps work really well too. So if I'm at this range and I jump and hit roundhouse, you know, he's gonna beat me like this, right? So let's jump from over here and I hit roundhouse and he beats me, right? But if I'm at this range and I don't touch a button, see that? It doesn't. I can empty jump and at certain ranges, like from this range here, he can't hit me with the Crouch Fierce. At that range, if I hit roundhouse, you know, he will hit me like so. But at that range, if I empty jump, he won't hit me. So that's a magic range for a lot of characters. Find a good long range jump attack and then get into that range so that at that range I can hit you with just barely the tip of my kick, like this. But if I touch nothing, then your anti-airs will miss me. So that's another way to beat anti-airs. Obviously, this doesn't work if I'm right here. If I'm jumping at you and I empty jump, I'm going to get hit by this Crouching Fierce no matter what. Like, that's not going to help me. It has to be a very specific range to be able to utilize this weapon here. God, it's so confusing when I'm doing it this way. Where's my Fierce Punch? So, like so. So it has to be very specific ranges. So empty jumps work really well. And jump arc modifiers. So Hurricane Kick works. EX Hurricane is probably better because for Ken, it changes his trajectory. Cammy's Dive Kick works really well because it freezes her in the air, just like Nikali's Dive Kick. What button is it? Roundhouse. Okay, so in other words, like let's say I jump at Ken, and go to this side, please. Okay, so let's say I jump at Ken like this, and he low fierces me out of the air like this with an early low fierce. It's a good anti-air. But if I jump and I hit down roundhouse instead, oops. You see what happens is since I freeze in the air for just a second like that, and then Ken does Crouch Fierce, the Fierce finishes, and then the roundhouse dive kick will be able to come down and beat him up. So that's another important way to beat these kind of anti-air normals. Have a move that changes your jump arc or your change your character's timing, basically. So that's how you beat anti-airs. And again, for anti-airs, it's important to have good range, but I'm talking vertical range. Speed is important. Speed can be important. So this move is really slow, but if I totally predict you're going to jump, I have plenty of time to hit you. Now, if you guys watched NLBC yesterday, you'll notice that one of the buttons that Yipes used a lot was that, stand jab. So it doesn't have the greatest range vertically, but the thing about it, it's fast and it hits high enough that it can beat a lot of buttons. See, if I don't touch a button, oh, see, it still hits me. Look at this. So Yipes was doing this a lot. I saw him do this a lot to a Cammy that he was playing against. So in this kind of situation, it's not the range that it's important. It's really the speed that's important. So there you go. That's a great example right there. That's the main reason why I picked Nikali, because his standing jab works so good as an anti-air. Priority is very important. Like I said, if you do not have good priority on this move here, you're just going to lose to everything, and so it's really, really not worth it to use as an anti-air. Make sure you have decent priority. But outside of that, you're hitting them out of the air. You're just trying to stop their jump. You're trying to make sure they don't get all the momentum from the jump. So strength doesn't matter. You can't really hit confirm off of these moves. There's really no point in canceling them necessarily unless you want to do like jab into a fireball so they land in the fireball, but that's not that important. Block levels, not going to matter. Resulting state, it's almost always going to be reset kind of a situation, so it's almost always going to be the same thing. But extra properties, you know, if you have, for example, more upper body invincibility, or if it has armor, Zangief can actually use his back fierce as an anti-air, because he sits there and holds back, and the guy jump kicks, he absorbs it, and then you punch him out of the air. You know, so little properties like that can be useful for every once in a while. So, in any case, let's move on from anti-airs. Let's go to big punishers. Big punishers are exactly what they sound like. Therefore, when you see the opponent whiff a DP, or when they get stunned or something like that, or they just leave themselves completely vulnerable, like you know you're going to land a cross-up or something like that. So if you land a cross-up, then it's time to go into big punisher moves. So for example, if Necalli misses an uppercut, I want my crush counter, because then I can do combos like that, which I didn't actually combo, so... Well, that does combo, I'm just not doing it right now. Let me try one more time. Whoops! There we go. Oh, there we go. So there you go. So that's basically all these are. Big punishers are just moves for starting combos. So basically you're there to punish big openings. You want damage, you want to have it either be able to link. So in this case, for example, I could even do, like if I block an uppercut here in this situation, which one is this? Is Necalli here. So if I block and I do an uppercut, for example. Oh, jeez. There we go, like that. You know what? I'm just going to turn on crush counter just to make it easier. I'll do it with Necalli. So if I come over here and I turn him to dummy and I turn counter on. So let's say Ken missed an uppercut. I can hit roundhouse, crush counter, and then roundhouse again, right? So I'm linking these together. So links work in this situation. Also cancelability works really well. So for example, fierce is cancelable, so I can do fierce into stomp and get stuff like that. So big damage, combo ability, understand damage scaling as well, because if you see someone miss an uppercut, you don't want to sit there and low jab them like this and then go into a combo, because that's not going to get you much damage. That was 138. So if I'm more ready for it, I can definitely get much higher damage combos. You know, I can do something like, you know, something like that, which will get me way more damage. So... like so. So there you go. So just understand damage scaling and know that you want to start your combos with big damage, because the moves towards the end of the combo get scaled much more heavily than the moves at the beginning. So you want all your big hits at the start. So if you see someone leave themselves open, make sure you hit them with something as hard as you can. And if it's cancelable, it's even better. And then just as a piece of advice, always keep your resources in mind. See how much meter you have. See how much V-trigger if you feel like spending it. So for example, for the situation for Necalli, if I have no meter, then maybe this is the combo that I want to do. Let's see. Can I do this? Let's see here. Yeah, something like that in any case, because I think that kind of works. Does that work? Oops, let me see something really quick. Oh, that's going to knock him down. I don't know Necalli very well. Sorry, guys. I apologize. You know, okay, well, in any case, if you have no meter, then you know, like, for example, if they miss, I would start with the roundhouse so I can do a good combo that requires no meter. If I want a reset kind of situation, maybe I'll purposely do the launcher one and then get the knockdown again. Or, you know, again, I don't know Necalli very well, but for some characters like Cammy, for example, I could do, if I'm close enough, I can do roundhouse into strong roundhouse into some sort of cool juggle combo. But that requires meter for the EX hooligan if I want to do the cool combo with dive kick into uppercut. If instead I want to do a meterless combo, then I'll probably just walk up and do strong, fierce, and the drill, etc., etc. So keep in mind your resources. And you should always know where your combo is going to leave them. Don't just think of combos as damage, for example. Always keep in mind that what you want out of your combo is what it's going to do to them afterwards, basically, where it's going to leave them. If I have a big damaging combo like this, I mean, that really doesn't do much, right? I mean, so it might do a lot of damage, like 189 by itself, but it leaves them standing. So not only do you want to keep all your resources in mind, definitely think about where the combo leaves them. And so how do you avoid big punishes? Oh yeah, make sure you have 1 or 2 good punish combos in your brain. I have seen too many times where someone whiffs an uppercut and the resulting punish here, for example, I whip this uppercut, is throw. Like Zangief, I SPD people when they whiff an uppercut all the time. I just walk up and SPD them. But if they whiff an uppercut like this and I just decide to, do a command grab, oh jeez. Like if I just decide to do a command grab, I mean, I could probably do stand roundhouse into command grab, right? Because that's a combo right there. So with Zangief, I always mess up my combo. So definitely try to keep 1 or 2 of them buried in your head so that your natural reaction is to do the correct thing. How to avoid him? Don't leave yourself open. Don't go whiffing uppercuts, you know. Block cross-ups. Don't fall dizzy. It's just basically what it comes down to. So that's how you avoid big punishers. But for big punishers, range doesn't matter because, you know, they're leaving themselves wide open. So you have time to go up there and beat them up. Speed doesn't matter. Again, like I'm starting with this move, which is super slow. So it doesn't really matter, you know. Safety, you're going to hit them. You don't care. Priority, you don't care. Strength is the important thing. Hit confirmability, combo ability is the important thing. You don't care about block levels or resulting states. Well, you care about the resulting state of the entire combo, not necessarily the resulting state of the move that you hit them with. And extra properties are nice because crush counters have added a lot to this game. So crush counters are very important to... Crush counters are really good as big punishers. In fact, most of your big punishers are going to be crush counters, right? So in other words, if Nakali misses this, you're going to want to punish with something like that, right? So let's say he misses uppercut and you go boom. And then you can do some crazy fancy Ken combos afterwards. So crush counters is the reason why I put extra properties at 3.